and in this week's obituaries. Everett A. Jeans. It is with great sadness that we announce the passing of A. Everett Jeans of New Glasgow, formerly of Sutherland's River. Everett died peacefully on September 21st, 2020 at the Aberdeen Hospital. Born on November 24th, 1927, Everett was the son of the late Basil L. and Ellis Jeans. He grew up in Thorburn, Pictou County, graduating from New Glasgow High School in 1946. After teaching school in 1947, he worked many years in finance for Market Square Motors and then Atlantic Motors. Everett later worked in office management and finance for McGregor Bedding and Steel Furnishings, followed by G.A. Fraser Maintenance Limited until his retirement. He was mathematically inclined, meticulous, and detail-oriented. His dedication, honesty, and integrity were evident in his work. Everett's family and faith were foundational to his life. At a Thorburn church social, he met Marjorie Macaulay, the new teacher from Boulardery Island. They were married in 1956 and settled in Sutherland's River, where they raised 2 daughters and 2 sons. He was a member of Sutherland's River Presbyterian Church for over 60 years, serving as a lay preacher in his early years on church session and committees, and receiving recognition as Elder Emeritus for his many years of dedication to his church in that capacity. The Masonic Lodge was an important part of Everett's life. Joining in 1950, he held a 70-year service bar and was treasurer of Hudson's Lodge No. 77 for 35 years and served as Grand Steward for the Grand Lodge of Nova Scotia. Everett took great interest in his community. He enjoyed classic automobiles, reading, genealogy, and was instrumental in compiling the research necessary for the restoration of the Sutherland's River Cemetery. Everett is survived by his wife Marjorie, his children Elaine of Mountville, Beth Lorage of Bettendorf, Iowa, Donald of Sydney, Nova Scotia, Alistair of New Glasgow. He's also survived by 7 children, Alicia, Rhea, and Andrew Lorage, Christy, Kate, and Sarah Mingo, and step-granddaughter Becky Seaman, sisters Shirley Morgan of Halifax, Nancy Osborne of Seattle, Sharon Crawford of Sydney Mines, and many extended family members who hold a special place in his heart. In addition to his parents, Everett was predeceased by his sister Betty MacLeod. Funeral arrangements are in the care of H.W. Angus Funeral Home, New Glasgow. Due to COVID-19 restrictions, there will not be a visitation. A family funeral will be held at Sutherland's River Presbyterian Church at a future date. Donations may be made to Sutherland's River Presbyterian Church, United Way of Pictou County, IWK Children's Hospital, Summer Street Industries, or a charity of your choice. John George Waters, age 55, of Pictou, passed away peacefully on Saturday, September 26, 2020, in the Aberdeen Hospital in New Glasgow. Born in New Glasgow, June 9, 1965, he was the son of the late George Waters and Margaret Ann Waters. John held several occupations during his lifetime, including weapons technician with the Victoria Regiment Infantry, shipper and receiver with C.P. Smith Furniture, security guard with Travel Lodge, Burn Security and Canadian Standards Association, as well as gas station attendant for several establishments in Pictou County. John had also been a member of the Royal Canadian Legion Branch No. 16 for the past 13 years. More recently, John enjoyed fishing with his sons and working as a volunteer ham radio operator. He especially enjoyed spending time with his grandchildren. John was a family man, and although he suffered greatly from a lot of physical illnesses on a daily basis, he never stopped enjoying and loving his children and grandchildren, who will miss their papa greatly. John is survived by his wife of 31 years, Janice, his sons John and daughter-in-law Kayla, Chris and daughter-in-law Alyssa, and his grandchildren Elizabeth, Olivia, Jackson, and Tucker, his brothers Everett, his sister Sally, his nephews Ricky and Stephen Waters, and other friends and extended family members, including mother-in-law Diane Wright and sister-in-law Debbie Wright. Besides his parents, he was predeceased by daughter Nassim Elizabeth, brother Howard, and niece Evelyn Grace. Many thanks to the ICU staff at the Aberdeen Hospital for their care and compassion, and a special thanks to Dr. Randy Burrell for his good care. Visitation will be held from 7 to 8:45 p.m. on Thursday, October 1st, 2020, from Eagles Funeral Home, Westville. Due to COVID restrictions, masks are mandatory. In lieu of flowers, donations in John's memory may be made to the Nova Scotia Heart and Stroke Foundation or to the Royal Canadian Legion, branch number 16. No committal at this time. Lois Jessie Johnson, age 56, of Marsh Road, Thorburn, passed away on September 1st, 2020, in the Aberdeen Hospital Palliative Care Unit, New Glasgow. Born in Pictou-Antigonish, she was the daughter of Margaret and the late Benvie Bigney. Lois had been a resident of Thorburn for many years and was very involved in the community and was always available to volunteer. She worked for a number of years at KFC in Pictou, at North Nova Seafoods as a supervisor, and at the Cape John Fish Plant. She later went to work for Dave's Commercial Cleaning at Michelin Tire, Granton. Lois loved flowers and enjoyed gardening. She is survived by her husband Colin of Thorburn, her son Judd of Thorburn, mother Margaret and stepfather Raymond Murray Hodson, sisters Florence, Lourdes, May, and Mary. Captain Vernon Elias Turple Sr., 85 years of age, of Scotsburn, passed away peacefully on September 20th, 2020, at home with his family by his side. Born on August 13th, 1935, he was the son of the late Lester Sr. and Helen Turple. Vernon is survived by his wife Janet Turple, brothers Leonard of Bayview, Lester of Pictou, sister Mary of Burnaby, and Emma Clark of Pictou. His children, Vernon Jr. of Pictou, Marilyn Hemphill, North Carolina, Kevin Dartmouth, Bonnie of North Carolina, and Andrew of Saskatchewan, Holly of Scotsburn, and many grand and great-grandchildren. Besides his parents, he was predeceased by his son Johnny, sister Janet, and brother Hugh. Vernon's love for the ocean began at a young age, working as a fisherman on the Northumberland Strait and building boats with his father and brothers in Pictou. He moved on to further his career working on offshore supply vessels and tugboats. He retired from Purvis Marine at age 72. One of his greatest accomplishments was achieving the highest grade seafarer qualification, Master Mariner. After retirement, Vernon's favorite place to be was at home in Scotsburn with his family. Vernon was a kind, gentle, and loving father. He always enjoyed when all of his children would come home and be together for feeds of lobster every year. He could pick up and play any musical instrument and loved to entertain at home, having many kitchen parties with his daughter, Holly, brother Leonard, and best friend, Frank McKay Sr. We are all at peace knowing that Vernon, our dad, is now surrounded by those he loves in heaven. We have no doubt he is having a beverage, singing and strumming the guitar with Johnny, Frankie, and all those he has missed over the years. The Turple family would like to give a heartfelt thank you to Father Peter MacDonald for the many visits and comforting words he provided to Vernon and family. We would also like to thank the Aberdeen Palliative Care and VON nurses and caregivers for giving wonderful care. Cremation has taken place. There will be a graveside service held at Seaview Cemetery at a later date. Any donations in Vernon's memory can be made to the Aberdeen Palliative Care Society and Pictou County VON.